Here at the pawn shop, Christmas is our favorite holiday. And even though we're in the desert, we still love to be festive. So every year we decorate the shop and exchange gifts.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Chum.
Have you been naughty or nice?
Nice Santa outfit. Except the old man's already got Santa Claus covered.
Merry Christmas, Chum.
What?
The old man is the grumpiest Santa you've ever met. So if you bring your kid in here, don't try and put him on Santa's lap, because the kid's not gonna like it, and neither is the old man.
Come back when you have something original.
What do you have here?
I have 2 copies of A Christmas Carol, first edition. I have the first printing, and I have the second printing of the first edition.
Okay, so you're telling me you have 2 first editions of A Christmas Carol from Charles Dickens?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's so cool about that?
Dude, it's probably one of the most popular Christmas books or Christmas stories of all time. Tiny Tim. Remember the Disney cartoon?
Yeah.
Scrooge McDuck.
I bought them at an auction with my dad about 10 years ago, but we didn't know yet that they were first editions. We did a little bit of research, and I went online, and I was like, wow, I think I have a first edition copy of this. I didn't pay a whole lot for the books. I don't even remember how much, but it probably wasn't more than a couple of dollars for the box.
Do you know about the story at all?
Yeah, it's like the 3 ghosts.
Yeah,
What's the name?
The Ghost of Christmas Past, or the Ghost of Christmas Present, the Ghost of Christmas Future. Charles Dickens saw, during the Industrial Revolution in England that, there was all these guys out there who really didn't care about anything else but money. Ebenezer Scrooge treated his employees like crap. All he cared about was making money.
Like the old man.
Pretty much. Charles Dickens was only in his early 30s when he wrote A Christmas Carol. It was so popular that it spawned all kinds of adaptations, and it's never gone out of print. If I can get an actual first edition for the shop, that would be awesome. If I can get 2, that would be incredible. So what can you tell me about them?
From the outside, they look very much the same. Charles Dickens did not like the color of the end papers on the first printing, and so he had them changed. And then he didn't like the second colors either, so they just had to live with it.
They look like they're gonna fall apart.
Yeah, they're 175 years old. They're pretty fragile.
What do you want to do with them?
I'd like to sell them. We got them appraised a couple of years ago, and the bookstore said that they were probably valued anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 a piece in their current condition.
I'm gonna kind of remove myself from this, because these things I don't even want to touch. If I pick this up and the cover comes off, she's gonna make me buy it.
Absolutely.
Let me call a friend of mine up. This is all she deals with all day long. So
Okay,
she
great.
can really help us out here. This lady's got a couple of first editions of A Christmas Carol, but they're so delicate, I'm afraid to touch them. So Rebecca's gonna come down and take a look.
Well, you guys know this is probably Dickens' most famous work. Historically, it's a pretty important book in that this is all part of the age when we start getting our modern conception of Christmas, okay? Christmas trees, Christmas cards, this whole charitable giving thing around Christmas. Dickens is a key factor in determining how we look at Christmas today modernly. Christmas Carol was first published in December of 1843. Dickens is a great example of the influence a popular book can have on the world because Christmas changed entirely based on this book. Kind of important. This book is notoriously fragile. Part of that is Dickens financed this book himself, and he wanted it to be this amazing deluxe production. He created a very delicate book, but delicate means fragile, and it means that it doesn't necessarily survive well. This book and collectability, it is condition, condition, condition. Say you had a completely pristine copy, those copies can get over $30,000.
Wow.
Okay, so green end papers here, and then this is the real kicker right here. Stave 1. All right, so that's the 1. Let's take a look at the other. All right, we have yellow end papers. Stave 1 with the 1 spelled out. So this one has the stave 1 with a Roman numeral. This one has stave 1 spelled out. That's going to determine this is a first state, this is a later state.
So what do you think they're worth?
Okay. Well, here's what I would suggest, personally. This book is kind of already a goner as far as condition goes. On top of that, it's a later state. I would personally not recommend getting it.
Okay.
Okay. I would actually say focus only on the first state, because at this, how far gone these are, let's at least stick with the earliest copy.
Gotcha.
I would say, if you were to purchase this copy, spend at least $1,000 on restoration with someone who's good, all right? And you get it restored. What I would say is that the retail price for a restored copy of this shape is about $12,000 to $15,000.
All right. I don't know what I'd do without you.
I know.
All right, see you later.
Nice to see you. You're not going to hear me say this often, but Corey does need to restore this book. And if he doesn't, I'm going to come after him.
What are you looking to get out of the book?
Well, knowing that it has to be restored, I'd like to get $7,500 out of it.
I'm gonna offer you $5,000. $5,000 is a fair deal. I've got to get it restored. I take all the risk.
Would you consider $6,500?
No,
$6,000?
I'll go $5,000.
Okay, I can do $5,000.
All right, deal.
Thanks.
Chum, I'm gonna take this.
Why don't you write it up, too? I got something to do.
All right.
I am really excited to get $5,000. I'm going to finish landscaping the backyard and finally put in our hot tub and have a good time.
What I have here today is a storyboard from How the Grinch Stole Christmas drawing with the signature of Chuck Jones.
I got about 50 Grinches in my family, so.
I'm bringing in the original storyboard piece from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I picked it up at an auction years ago. I'm an animation collector, and I've been collecting for 30 years. I'm looking to get about $5,000. May go to $335, but nothing less.
This is badass. So how'd you get it?
Auction. Been collecting Chuck Jones pieces as well as the Grinch, and now it's the 50th anniversary. It's a good time to think about selling.
Chuck Jones is an icon as far as animation goes. He was the director of the entire thing. You know, when you're making a cartoon or anything, you got to come up with a storyboard. So basically all your artists know exactly what to draw. I mean, your actors are going to know what we're going to be talking about. This thing barely happened because the networks were afraid of it. They told Chuck Jones and Dr. Seuss, find your own sponsors and maybe we'll do it. Eventually they found a bank that would sponsor it. I thought it was great when I was a kid.
I mean, it's just one of those classic stories. I mean, just like every Dr. Seuss story.
I used to make him green eggs and ham.
There you go.
Anyway, it ended up becoming a major success. Okay, so what do you want for it?
Looking to get $5,000.
$5,000?
These go for much more in some auctions that recently closed. And this is signed.
I actually know a Grinch I can call who might help me out with it. He'll know more than I do.
The old man's coming to work?
No, I'm gonna call Chad. Let me call my art guy. He might know something about it.
Well, as long as you don't have this face on when he comes in.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna give him a call.
Alrighty. I'm excited to have the expert look at this piece, and I'm sure he'll also be excited seeing something so rare and signed by the great Chuck Jones.
A customer came in with a storyboard image from the Christmas classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. If Chad tells me it's worth anything close to what the seller wants for it, I'm buying it. I have to have it. Chuck Jones,
Chuck Jones, MGM.
a portrait of my father.
Portrait of, yeah, that's the old man with a hat on.
So what do you think?
It's a super cool collaboration between Dr. Seuss and Chuck Jones. They actually they met in the Army in 1943. It's like Mel Blanc for his Freeling, Theodore Geisel, Dr. Seuss. They made these Army films called Private Snafu, showing you what not to do in the military. Like he would pull a grenade and, you know, throw the pin and then drop the grenade.
Okay. So do we know who painted all the storyboards?
We know a lot about these because he wrote about them in the book Chuck Redux. It was Chuck Jones, Maurice Noble, and the writers. We know he did around 1,500 of them. He actually carried these things around with him, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, to 26 different sponsors and literally acted out the Grinch. He was the Grinch, he was the little girl. He played out every part. When we look at the paper type's exactly right. The signature's right. Just the general animation and action styles, right? He really liked putting these action lines in. So this is definitely Chuck Jones' work.
I know there's a huge market for Dr. Seuss collectors out there.
Yeah.
Does it make it worth less that it's Christmas?
Under normal circumstances, I would say yes, absolutely a Christmas thing. But in this particular circumstance, the Grinch is as iconic as Santa Claus. You know what I mean? So it is Christmas oriented still, but that's his specific thing. Like if you like the Grinch, you're gonna have to take the Christmas on the side of the plate. They kind of all go together.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
So how much do you think it's worth?
My feeling is it's worth between $2,500 and $3,000.
Rarely you see one of these signed by Chuck Jones, especially.
He was very proud of the animation he created. So he signed all of these, every single one of them, because he wanted the world to know this is his. This is the one that he created.
Thanks, man. You're the best.
Thanks a lot for having me. It's good to see you again, man. Hey, that's a cool piece. Yeah, thanks a lot. You guys take it easy. If Rick's able to get a good price on this, he should absolutely purchase it because it would be extremely easy to sell.
He knows his art. Yeah, I mean, he really does. I'd give you $1,500 for it.
Can't go that low. I mean, it's matted. It's all set to go. $2,250.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you $2,000 for it.
21.
Nope.
Alrighty, let's do it.
All right, cool, man.
All right, I'll go ready to come with me, man.
Got this at an auction for a really good price, so even selling it at $2,000 is a great profit for me, so now I'm gonna go out and buy some more.
Merry Christmas again.
My God.
What are you guys laughing at?
Chum, wait.
What is wrong with you?
That is probably the worst outfit I have ever seen anyone have on their body. I look stupid, but that's ridiculous. You guys ready to exchange gifts or what?
All right, Santa, who's first?
Chum was first.
Every year for Christmas, me and the guys do a Secret Santa. Most of the time, the gifts stink, but hey, it's all for good fun.
I got you a present.
What is this?
It's wrapped in foil.
Chumwick, this is one of the coins that was on the desk the other day.
I have a small budget.
Chumwick, it's the thought that counts. Thank you very much.
Pops.
Ricky, read it, damn it. Tell us what it says.
Happy holidays. He didn't even sign the damn thing, and there's like $5 in this thing.
There's 7. Merry Christmas.
This is classic Corey, $7. I guarantee you, that's what he had in his wallet.
He give you money. That's what I always want. I never get it.
I gave you money.
You give me a coin, which I owned before.
Here you go, Chum.
All right, this looks good. Sweet.
I know you wanted it. Me and the guys don't normally take this too seriously, but we all do have a soft spot for Chum, and he's usually the only one who gets a real gift.
Thanks, Rick.
No problem.
The only person left's Big Hoss. Hey, and your grandmother made it for you.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh.
How'd I guess?
Oh, that's sweet.
Put it on, Corey. Grandma's coming down.
What time's she coming down?
We don't know, so you're gonna have to wear it all day long.
Put it on.
Come on, Corey, put it on.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Do you really want to break your grandma's heart?
It's a possibility at this point, buddy.
Corey, that is you.
She seriously couldn't have thought this was a good idea.
Corey, your grandmother put a lot of work into it.
I think it looks great, Hoss.
All right, Christmas is over. Bah humbug, all that crap. You wear the sweater. You get your ass over there and go to work.
It's the ugliest sweater I've ever seen in my life.
I can't stop laughing.
Hey, how's it going? What can I help you with?
Well, I have 4 pieces of original Mad magazine, John Martin preliminary art of the cover, one of the Christmas issues.
Sweet. I know Mad started off as more of like a gore comic, and then they went more towards the satire version of it. I know there was congressmen that wanted it banned, which if you think about what's on TV and stuff today, and this was a problem back then.
Right. Today I'm selling 4 pieces of original Mad magazine, Don Martin art. I like Don Martin's art because it portrays a lot of humor. I want to sell these so I can get some additional money. I plan on going to Costa Rica to visit my son who's down there studying for college. These are very interesting because a lot of the Don Martin art that's available today is his black and white art that's actually inside the magazine. I think these are much more desirable because they are related to the cover and because they are in color.
Okay, good. Any idea how much you're looking to get?
I'm looking for $3,000.
Okay. Do you mind if I have a friend of mine come down and check them out? I just think he'll know a lot more about them and what they're worth than I will. It'd be better for both of us.
Don Martin, I see. I was a big Mad magazine fan. These are really interesting. These look like preliminary drawings or storyboard drawings. One of the neatest things about Don Martin was his ability to make you laugh without any words. Satire, just through line drawings, which is very, very difficult.
Wasn't he also known as Mad's maddest artist?
He was Mad's maddest artist because if you look at his drawings, they're very wacky. If you look at the shoes he does, he always does kind of the floppy shoes, people without necks, the bulbous nose. I mean, look at this one. This is classic Martin right here. He's pulling out his hair because of the amount of Santa Claus is begging him for money.
What do you think they're worth?
These are in very good condition. They've been cared for. I would put these at somewhere between $400 to $600 per piece, around $2,400 on the high end. You still have to get them framed and things, but the Christmas theme might make them a little bit narrower for collectors. And we have to remember, these never saw the magazine. If they did see the magazine, it would have a little bit of extra value.
I'd like to offer you around $1,000 for them. You gotta figure I've gotta frame every one of these. You know, for as cool and as collectible as they are, it's not as if they're gonna fly off the shelf.
Selling them for $1,000, I lose money.
Okay, well, give me a better number.
Well, $2,000.
I'll do $1,200.
They're original, they're Don Martin, they're in color. When I bought them, I didn't buy them framed. I think they're valuable as they are without being framed.
I'll do $1,400. That's the most I can go.
If you do $1,500, you have a deal.
All right, I'll do $1,500. You got a deal.
I have my $1,500. Now I just have to go out and buy sunscreen, the current issue of Mad magazine for my plane ride to Costa Rica, and off I go.
I got this tin box here that's fairly old. I know it's old just by the date on the bottom.
Christmas 1914. This is pretty cool. This was a gift to the British troops. A Christmas gift in 1914. You know, I just love Imperium Britannicum. It's the Latin version of Imperial Britain. For some reason, even back then, it was real important for everything to sound Latin.
I have a tin box that I purchased at a yard sale in New Jersey. I really don't know much about the box itself, but I purchased it because of the date, 1914. It's the year my grandfather was born. I'd like to get $200 for the box.
This is really, really cool. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. While World War I was raging on in Europe, Princess Mary in England thought it would be very, very nice for all the troops to get a present. So they came up with this little brass box, and they distributed it to all the troops. There was a Christmas card inside, and I think the Christmas card had Princess Mary's face on it. And it also had a little thing of tobacco in it. And they determined that the nurses should not get the tobacco because it was not proper for a woman to smoke, and that chocolate would have been the nicest thing. It does got a neat history to it. You ever hear about the Christmas truce in World War I?
No.
They called a truce for Christmas Day during the war, and a lot of the troops actually went over the enemy lines. They sat around, they drank with each other, and the next day they went back to war. Not only did this thing get through World War I in one piece, it's amazing the troops ever got it at all. There was a huge shortage of brass at the time because of the war, and the last thing a lot of generals were wanting to do was give brass candy boxes out. They wanted to make bullets. How much were you looking to get out of it?
200.
No. If it still had the heart in it, yeah.
All right. What's your best offer?
I'll make this really, really easy on you. I'll give you $100.
No. I'd probably be willing to take $125 for it.
It's not gonna happen. The cool thing is, Christmas is coming up, so it'll sell. If you come in next month, I'm gonna offer you less because I'm gonna have to hold it a year to sell it. These things sell around Christmas time.
Okay.
I'll give you $100.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, follow me. We'll write this up.
Okay. The $100 is good because I only purchased it for $15, and now I'm going to be able to go out for a nice dinner this evening.
So what in the world do we have here?
Well, this is a family sleigh. It's been in my mom's living room for many years. It's actually been a Christmas decoration that stays year-round.
Hey, Pops. You know anything about antique sleighs?
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. It's a one-horse open sleigh.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that.
I got the sleigh from my dad. He'd always loved sleighs. He bought it many years ago from a customer of his. It's original. There's amazing artwork on it of Santa. It's just in beautiful condition and has a wonderful antiqued look that it doesn't even need anything.
I absolutely love this.
Do you know how old it is or anything, or?
It was made somewhere between 1850 and 1880. Don't know exactly when.
Yeah, this is like modern transportation in the 1800s. These things were used in wintertime outside when it was nasty. This would have not been the fabric that was on it. Generally, things like this were either oilcloth or leather, because what would this cushion be like after like 10 minutes riding around in the rain? It'd be pretty gnarly. It's in incredibly good shape, though.
It is in great shape. The runners have been repainted sometime a long time ago, but back here, it's original bodywork. And there's even Santa over here. See, driving the sleigh, reindeer.
That's cool. Well, it's to the period. Most people don't know this. Up until the 1800s, Santa was more like an elf. He wasn't like the modern Santa Claus, like a human being that lives at the North Pole. He was sort of like this elfin creature. How much you want for it?
$4,300.
Not gonna happen.
Hey, the thing's made for snow. Am I getting Clydesdale to pull me around the sand dunes in this thing? I don't know. There's no use for it here in Vegas.
It'll look pretty in your living room. At Christmas time, you can put presents under it.
I will tell you what, I'll give you $1,000 for it.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
No. Look at it from my perspective, okay? First off, if I sell this to someone who's actually gonna use it, they're gonna have to redo the interior and they're gonna bitch about it. If I sell this to someone who wants to make it a Christmas display in their store or something like that, they're a business owner, they're cheap.
I understand that finding the customer these things, it's a niche market. I feel like it's worth more than that because it's got an aged antiques patina.
You know what, I'm looking at what I can sell it for.
I understand.
There is a very, very slim market for cutter sleighs.
In Las Vegas.
Especially on the West Coast.
So I will give you $1,000.
I'm sorry, I just can't go that low.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it very much.
It would have been nice to make a deal, but I'm gonna keep filling it with presents and just keep using it as a Christmas tree.
Merry Christmas. Chum, I know you give you a lot of crap, but I'm really happy you work here, even if the old man doesn't agree. Merry Christmas, bud. Corey. Hello, big house. Awesome. This is the best Christmas ever.